Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to this training about domestic and international airfare. My name is Mark Krebs. I'm a bronze consultant with Archer and Evolution Travel. I've been a part of Archer and Evolution for 9 months now. I have been a travel agent for 8 years. I have worked with the airlines and in front desks of hotels for 10 years, though. I spent 2 years of that with the airlines, with United Airlines in South Dakota. So I've got some ins and outs of booking airfare to talk to you guys about tonight. This will be a relatively quick training, but we do have a lot of good information in here. So let's go ahead and get started. So one of the things that you may hear about is you don't want to book airfare alone. Well, that's not necessarily true because there are commission opportunities to booking airfare alone. Okay, and those are instant commissions. And like I just said, I wanted to bring in Stefanie Crosser, one of our gold consultants on Team Sunset, to talk about that a little bit because she's the queen of instant commission when it comes to airfare. Stefanie.
Yeah, hi.
Why don't you go ahead and, yeah, go ahead. Why don't you give your tips and tricks too?
Yeah, tips and tricks. Okay. I do have a completely separate training specifically on instant commissions. I'll run it again next month. But my name is Stefanie Crosser. I'm a gold consultant with Archer and Evolution Travel. I am, like Mark said, the queen of instant commission, especially when it comes to flights. Tips and tricks. We're going to, let's see, I use Square for all instant commissions to, I'm trying to decide how to do a 30-minute training in 2 seconds. No, I use Square for instant commissions because it's the most professional. I've heard of people using PayPal, Venmo, things like that. I don't recommend those. Square does take a small percentage out, but you don't even notice it if you're booking flights consistently, which I am. You may have heard that we shouldn't book flights because there's no commission, but like Mark said, there is commission on flights when you charge it. We charge commission because our time is worth it. But there are a lot of instances where booking flights is totally relevant and important. One of those being family emergencies. I had a time in December, actually a couple months ago, where my mom called me and she said, I need you to fly home. I'm a travel agent, so I could have easily booked my trip, right? But I couldn't handle it. So I called my good friend, Lori. I said, hey, I need to be on a flight in 2 hours. Can you book that trip for me? And she was like, absolutely. So she did. I gave her my mom's credit card number because my mom paid for it. And she booked that flight for me. That's one instance when you're going to have a flight only booking. Probably not add a hotel or anything else with a package because in most circumstances we'll stay with family, right? So, sorry, I'm going to walk over my desk really quick. Another instance you can book flights only and gain commission is when you're working with athletic teams. You can also work with like church groups or, weddings. If somebody comes to me and they're like, I'm a bride, but I've already booked everything that I need, I'm going to find out if they've booked travel because chances are they have not, their flights. So you can book flights only for groups like that. If you're booking a group, you want to contact the airline directly. Gosh, what else? If you're not using Centrav. So Mark is going to talk to you about Centrav, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so Mark's going to talk to you about Centrav, but if you're not using Centrav and you're booking a flight only trip, you really want to try to book with the airline directly so that if there is an issue, you can call the airline directly. They can compensate your client and you for your time, and then you won't have to do the workaround of a third party. Now, if you're using Vax or Expedia booking with a package, that's totally fine. But Ron Archer prefers you to book with the airlines directly if you're doing a flight only booking. But Centrav is good too. There's a couple other places where we can utilize that as well. Is there anything else specific you want me to mention, Mark?
Nope, that was it.
Okay, perfect. Awesome.
Thanks, Steph.
Of course.
So like Stephanie said, Centrav is a good option for booking flights. Now, we're going to start out with domestic flights. Domestic flights, you want to book directly with the airline. So whether you're booking with Delta, American, United, one of those, there is a website that you can use to compare all of those rates, and I'm going to put it into the chat box. It is called skyscanner.com. And this is a good website to use, and I'm going to bring it up here. Because you're actually able to book directly with the airlines as well off of this website. So we are going to do a trip from New York's LaGuardia Airport. Let me get into it here. To Seattle. We're going to say our client wants to depart on March 30th and come back on April 5th. One adult, and here you can change the cabin class to economy, premium economy, business, or first class. We're just going to leave it at economy. So you just quickly search, and you can also look at hotels and car rentals in the arrival city as well here, but for those, you're going to want to go directly to the car rental company or the hotel. Okay, so it gives you options here. So it says the best flights. I don't know why it defaulted back to Sioux City, Iowa, but we'll just go with it. So from Sioux City, Iowa to Seattle, it defaulted back to that. So departing Sioux City, Iowa at 12:55 p.m., getting into Seattle at 6:35 p.m. It's a 7-hour and 40-minute flight with one stop in Chicago on United. And then departing Seattle at 4 p.m., getting into Sioux City at 11:34 p.m. with one stop in Denver. Okay, so that's the best flight. Now, if your client wants to go with the cheaper route, you can click on cheapest. So you see how everything changes. Now they have 2 stops in Denver and Las Vegas, but they also have to change airlines. So they have to go to United and Spirit Airlines. I really don't recommend going with the cheapest airline and the cheapest airfare, because cheapest does not mean best. Okay, because I've seen some flights where they've had an overnight layover and not getting in until the next day. I've seen flights from Houston to LA where my client would have had to sit in Las Vegas overnight, then catch another flight to LA the next day. So, and the airfare was about $400 cheaper, but again, that doesn't mean the best. Okay. Now you can also search by fastest flight. So this one takes 7 hours and 40 minutes. And the return flight takes 5 hours and 9 minutes. But again, this is the same flight as the best flight, which is 509. So the fastest flight of 760, but again, this is going to be 2 different airlines. So Alaska Airlines and United. So we don't want our clients changing airlines either. So does everybody understand that you want to try to keep your clients on one airline unless they're flying internationally and it's a code share? So, and I will get to questions at the end of this, Samantha. So I do see your question in the chat box. Okay, so what you would do, we're just going to select the best flight and you just click on select. And then you can read the terms and conditions. You want to always check for extra fees. So the baggage fees and everything, you can view the airline's fees right down here. So with United, it's going to send you straight to a website, a subpage that you can select the airline. And in this case, it's United. And then it'll take you straight to a united.com page where it'll tell you the baggage. And you can calculate the baggage fee. So now we're just going to go back and select a flight because we're going to just say our client doesn't have any bags. This is going to send us straight to United to book it. So we're not booking through a third party. We're actually booking directly through the airline. So you would just sign in, or you would just put your client's Mileage Plus number or other frequent flyer program number, and they have all of them listed here that they work with. Just put the traveler's information in here, and especially the middle name or initial if shown on ID, because it has to match the government ID exactly. Okay, and then you can add the TSA pre-check pass ID. And then on Skyscanner or on United, in this case, you do have an option to hold this fare and complete the purchase at a later date. That does cost money. So in this case, if you wanted to hold it for 2 weeks, it would cost you $12.99, or your client $12.99 to hold this fare, because it could go up, it could go down. We don't know. So you don't know with the airlines what the airfare is going to do for on a day-to-day basis. You may have to requote this 3 or 4 times if your client is just shopping around. So Skyscanner sends you directly to the airline's website and allows you to book directly with the airline. So this is a really good way to compare airfare with different airlines. So now if you're looking at, and in this case, on a domestic trip, you're going to want to charge a service fee, or you're going to want to charge instant commission, and you're not going to call it instant commission to your client. You're going to call it a service fee. You're going to call it a booking fee, something like that. A lot of times it is called so you're going to want to call it a service fee. What I do is I charge $25 per ticket that I book. So, and that's for domestic tickets. International tickets, I charge $50, or if I'm booking on Centrav, I add a service fee to it. So that's one way you can make commission, and I'll show you how to do that on Centrav here in just a minute. So let's go ahead and go to Centrav right now. The website is just centrav.com. Let me get logged in here. Centrav's been taking a little while to log in here lately, so I apologize. Let me just get this code here. All right, so we're going to fly from Minneapolis, St. Paul to Athens, Greece. We're going to go 1 adult. We're going to put this departure out a little ways. We're going to say August 1st, returning on the 9th. And again, we're going to select economy. Now you're going to want to ask your client what cabin class they want to fly in. And if they don't give you an answer, quote economy. So we're going to search for fares. Now, this is one where you may have different airlines, but it would be a code share flight. So the client would be checked in throughout the entire trip, along with their baggage. Okay, so up here on the fare matrix, there are 3 different types of fares. There's commissionable published fares with no commission, and consolidator fares. The commissionable published fares are going to have the actual amount of commission that you can earn on that flight. So in this case, it would be an Air Canada flight outbound and United flights inbound. It's going to be right down here for $1,540.73 in basic economy. That commission is going to be $44.40. And that's already built into the price for your client. Okay, so Centrav is going to pay that out within 2 weeks of booking this trip. Once it is ticketed, it is 2 weeks. Centrav pays it out within 2 weeks. Now, if it is a published fare with no commission, that's where you're going to charge an instant commission or a service fee. Once again, I charge $50 for an international trip because there's a lot more that I have to do with that, including putting in passport information and so on. Sorry, Centrav has been acting up a little bit here lately. There's a third type of fare called a consolidator fare, and I'll show you once that comes back up. This consolidator fare may be a little bit higher, but you can also build commission into it. So let me see if I can find a consolidator fare here. And there are Centrav trainings out there that will show you how to add commission to a consolidator fare. Or if you go to academy.centrav.com, you can take their training there. It takes about 2 hours to do, and you'll learn everything you need to know about Centrav and booking airfare with them. So let's see here. For some reason, it's not letting me pull it up. So yeah, Centrav's acting up tonight. So with the consolidator fare, once you confirm the fare, you can actually edit it to, there we go. You have a markup limit of $286. So you can actually make $286 in commission on this flight. So you just click on edit. It'll send you to their trip builder. Maybe. Okay, so it sent me to their trip builder. And now it's saying they don't have a price for that fare type. So when you actually book it, once you click on book, you can mark up the price and it will be reflected in the ticketing price to your client. Centrav does take a portion of that as a service fee, but then they pay out the rest of that. And again, that's all in their Centrav Academy. Does everybody get the basic gist of that? How you can earn commission on international flights, but you really can't on domestic flights, except with instant commission? Perfect. All right. So that's just a basic overview of how to book domestic and international travel. Now, when you've got Expedia, when you've got Vax, you can build it all into the package price and commission's already built in. So you're already earning commission on all of that. Another way to do it, other than going direct to the airlines, is some other suppliers, such as Princess Cruise Lines, they do Easy Air. Some of the cruise lines have their own air programs. You can book with them. Excuse me. You can book with them on their airfare programs, but commission is not going to be built into that, except into the cruise fee or into the cruise fare. So you can actually charge an instant commission on that as well. There's another company called GoAway Travel that we use for European trips a lot of times, and they have their own air company called GoAway Air that allows you to book airfare that matches up with the tours that they offer. So you can actually book airfare there, and I'm not sure if you would receive commission on that airfare or not, but to be safe, I would suggest charging an instant commission, a service fee on those. So that's really booking domestic and international flights in a nutshell. Whenever you can, for domestic flights, go through Skyscanner to compare rates, or go direct to the airline's website and then charge an instant commission or a service fee to your client. International flights, go through Centrav. So because they are the big hub, and Centrav, you can actually add commission on those consolidator fares, or there are some fares, published fares, that have commission built in. Okay. So I'm going to stop the recording here.